another edition of Outside the Shop with me, your host, Daryl D. Lane, where I get to talk about everything that I normally don't get the chance to talk about on my regular sports podcast, Barbershop Sports Talk, which you guys can all find on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Special shout out to everybody who's tuning in via YouTube live stream, Facebook Live, and Twitter/Periscope. So, time for my take of the day. Aaron Rodgers needs to stop complaining about saying, "Oh, I don't have enough help. Oh, I don't have enough help." It was a big talking point when he requested a trade on draft night during the draft last year from the Green Bay Packers, being mad about the Jordan Love situation. And I defended Rodgers for a lot of this. But this year, I think Aaron in that talk needs to stop, particularly as we head into next offseason, whether the Packers make it to another NFC Championship game, win a Super Bowl, or however their season ends. Aaron should never say, "I didn't have enough help," right? And I was thinking about this. Sometimes I mess around with my mom and I'll be like, "You don't love me." When in reality, that's not true. But just imagine I was true. I really was being real with my mom and I was like, "I don't love you." It would be like, how could you say that? Because, and if your mothers did the same for you, they cleaned up your poop when you were little. They drove you to school. They made you food. Uh, they paid for your education. My mom still lets me live with her rent free, I might add. Uh, when I was looking at colleges, my mom drove me around all the way from Ohio all the way to New York City. And you want to know why? Because, in fact, she loves me. And she loves me a lot. And there's no reason for me to say, for you to say you don't love either of your parents if they've been there and they've done almost everything they can do for you to be successful. And then we go to Aaron, right? He says, "Oh, the Packers don't give me enough help. I don't have the talent. They haven't done right by me." Well, let's look at this. His offense. He had top 5 wide receiver in Monte Adams. He has one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, and he has 2 really good running backs. Now, when we look at it, does he have uh, all these weapons like Kansas City Chiefs do? Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, all the speed to burn. Does he have a 49ers defense from 2019 with Nick Bosa and all those guys? No. Does he have the Legion of Boom secondary? No. But then if you look at his defense, right? The defense has been solid. They have the Smith brothers. They have some pretty good cornerbacks. Jair Alexander's a top 5 corner in the NFL. I know he's been hurt. Solid defensive line, solid linebacker, solid secondary. Their defensive coordinator is getting a lot of traction as the best DC in the NFL at this moment in time, right? So how can we say he doesn't have help? Even Eric Stokes, who people were mad, "Oh, Aaron needs to draft an offensive player." Eric Stokes has been one of the best rookies in the NFL. So when we say Aaron doesn't have enough help, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. But life isn't perfect. I bet everybody would love to be in the scenario Tom Brady is right now, where it's literally Chris Godwin can get hurt, and he still has Rob Gronkowski, he has Cameron Brates, he has Antonio Brown, he has Mike Evans, and he has all these weapons. Love that, but that's not reality. That's not reality. Everybody would love to have a family that gets to travel across the world with, right? You get to go to Paris, you get to go to France, you get to go to Greece, you get to go to Rome, you get to go to Egypt, you get to all these places. But not every family can do that. Not every family can afford to do that, right? Not every family can afford to do that. So should you resent your parents because, oh my God, I couldn't do all the luxurious and fabulous stuff, the super, super high stuff? No, you should say thank you and work with what you have, because what you have is still pretty good, right? So don't say you don't love your parents, right? My parents didn't do right by me. Right by me? Why did they do right by you? Because you never went to Disney World? Because you didn't get to travel outside the country? Because they didn't buy you a car, but they drove you to school every day. They paid for your college education. They got food on the table for you. They made sure you can go to all your activities, sports, instruments, et cetera, et cetera. So we always have to think about this, and I think Aaron should think about this too. Just because the Packers haven't done everything, right? They haven't done everything perfectly, but they're doing it a lot better than a lot of other teams. Look at the dumpster fire the Jacksonville Jaguars are. Look at what the New York Jets have been. Look at the Miami Dolphins have been. Worse than the Packers. The Packers have a top 10 roster in the NFL. Would you like for them to have a top 5 roster? Sure. I think everybody would like that. I think everybody agrees the Packers could be doing more, and that's on the Packers too. But let's not complain with Aaron and be like, "Oh, they have nobody. They're a bunch of scrubs because they're not. And it's not ideal, but he's also the franchise. So when things aren't ideal in the franchise, you got to make it work. And that is my take of the day. Aaron has a little bit more help than you might think. And Aaron needs to realize that. Have a great day, everybody, and God